I used to be someone who had really low self confidence. I used to be somebody who would look in the mirror and constantly think in my head, why was I born so ugly? Why do I look so ugly? Why do I have to look this way? Why am I not attractive? And I realized that this was all in my head, right? This was all in my head because um, every other person that you come across in your lifetime is going to have a certain perception about the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, your personality, everything about you, right? They're going to have a perception. They're going to have an opinion, right? And that goes for the way you look. There's going to be people out there that think you're ugly. There's going to be people out there that think you're attractive. There's going to be people out there that think that you're average or okay looking. And, the older that I got, the more I understood this. And it unlocked the ability for me to actually be confident in the way that I look, right? Because I think about it over the course of my life, right? I've been called ugly by some people. I've been called attractive by some people. I've been called average, decent, okay looking by some people. And, I would internalize the times that people would call me ugly and then dismiss the times that I've been called attractive. And that is a flaw that I had to fix. And I had to fix the fact that, I had to change the fact that I thought that I was ugly. Now, I have confidence in my looks. And it does not matter what people call me, right? I appreciate people who call me attractive. And I don't really internalize when people call me ugly, right? Because, ugly, it has a negative connotation. Attractive has a positive connotation, right? And so, of course, you're always happy, glad when someone calls you attractive, and then you're upset and sad when someone calls you ugly. But the key to not really internalizing the negative comments about how you look is to actually be confident in yourself. You have to be confident in the way that you look. And then it won't even matter what other people think, right? There's not one thing that people can say about the way that I look that's going to affect how I feel about myself, the confidence that I have in myself, right? And, we tend to focus on our flaws, so-called flaws, because, when it comes to looks, flaws, they're all just perception, right? So some people might look at, let me give you an example. Look at my face. You see this right here? Ever since I was born, I've had this birthmark on my face. okay, I've had this birthmark ever since I was born. And when I was little, I used to struggle with this. But as I gotten older, I actually embrace it. You know, I think back to, the times that people would make comments about the way it looks. A lot of people over the course of my life have called it a teardrop. Some people actually thought it was a real, like, tattoo of a teardrop, and I have to tell them, no, it's a birthmark. But because of the position of this birthmark relative to my eye, people think that it's a teardrop. And, whenever people make comments about it nowadays, I get a good kick out of it because people have different perceptions of it, right? I had somebody one time say that it was shaped like South America. And so it's just perception, right? But for whatever silly reason, whatever silly internal reason I had, I used to think that this birthmark was ugly. And, I'll admit to you, there was a time in my life where I used to wish I could find a way to cover it up because it was a so-called imperfection. It was an imperfection in my mind, but it wasn't truly an imperfection. You see what I'm saying? It was just a perceived flaw. But, you have to embrace, your looks. You have to be confident in the way that you look, right? People can tell when you're not confident in the way that you look, right? And, you don't want to put out that energy that you're just not confident within the way that you look. Because when people, they get a sense that you are confident in the way that you look, by default, you're going to get more respect at minimum, right? And really that goes for confidence in general. That's not even talking about confidence when it comes to your looks. When people get a sense that you're a confident person, you're a confident human being, you're confident within yourself, people are going to respect that, right? Versus someone who clearly isn't confident, right? So don't be that person that is, constantly downing themselves, calling themselves ugly, because you're going to internalize that. You're going to always see any little flaw that you have and attribute that to you just being born ugly. And again, I had this problem until I got older and I realized that it's all perception. Let me give you another example. You see, I have a gap in my mouth. I have this big gap right here. And that was another thing that was kind of a struggle for me when I was younger. Because, let's be real, when you see people on television, billboards, magazines, they're not going to have a big old gap like me. Their teeth are going to be perfectly straight, no gap, no nothing. Right? So, nowadays, I don't really mind it. I actually embrace it. Right? And, And that's actually the only thing with me. Like, all of my teeth came in straight. I actually never really needed braces because all of my teeth came in straight. Okay. And the only so-called flaw that I had was just that huge gap in my mouth. But I'll tell you right now, I'm never getting that gap fixed. I will tell you straight up, that gap is going to stay with me till the day that I die. I will never get that gap fixed. Because I'm confident in, the way that I look. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone makes a comment about my gap, right? Or makes a comment about how I should get that gap fixed, right? I want to say one time when I was a kid, somebody did tell me that I should get braces to fix the gap. And, I thought about it, but I never did that. And I'm glad that I never did that. I'm glad that I never bought, braces just to fix this one so-called flaw that I had with my teeth. Okay, I'm so glad I never did that, because we have to embrace, right, the way that we look. We have to embrace what we're born with, right? I embrace my attributes, right? They might be different, but I embrace them. Like this birthmark on my face, okay? I embrace that. I think it makes me unique. Most people aren't walking around with a birthmark right on their face that makes, that looks like there's a tear coming down from their eye. Most people don't have that on their face, but I do. And I embrace it. I'm like, it makes me different. It makes me unique. It makes me who I am, right? Looks wise. People have talked about it. There's people that have made negative comments about my birthmark, my gap. But, as I got older, I just realized that, I have to just embrace it. And I'll tell you, if you're struggling with the way you look, just embrace the way you look, right? You need to have confidence in the way that you look, right? It doesn't matter what sort of flaw that you have, right? Have confidence in your looks, right? And of course, try your best to look as, presentable as you can, but overall, you cannot change your facial structure, the way that your face looks overall. There's nothing you can do but to, make yourself look as presentable as possible, right? You should just embrace it, because you can't really change a lot about your facial structure. Of course, you can go out and get, tens of thousands of dollars in plastic surgery, which is something that I would never do. But, you can do that, but it's like, to me, it's not worth it. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in the way that you look. Don't ever let anybody call you ugly. Don't let anybody ever cause you to feel, not confident in yourself, in the way you look. Okay? That's just the main message that I wanted to, you know, uh, give you in this video. And I use myself as an example, because I was somebody that struggled with this. I was somebody that truly thought that I was a ugly human being, right? Until I realized it doesn't matter and it's all about perception. And as long as I'm confident in the way that I look, it truly doesn't matter. Okay? So if you're somebody that's struggling with this, take me as an example. I got flaws. 2 flaws that I just now pointed out to you that caused me to think that I was the ugliest looking person out here. But once I realized it doesn't matter, once I became confident in the way that I look, there wasn't anything that anybody could say about the way that I look. And you have to have confidence out here. I mean, even the fact that I put my face out here, you have to be somewhat confident in your looks in order to put your face all over the internet, right? Because people are mean. People are going to judge the way that you look on the internet. They're going to judge the way that you talk on the internet. They're going to judge the way that you dress on the internet. They're going to judge every single thing about you when you put your face out on the internet. Any little flaw that you have, you're going to get judged and called out over it. But I'm here to tell you, you should not care about that. Why? Because you're confident in yourself. You're confident in the way that you look. And it does not matter what someone else says about you. Okay? So be confident in yourself. Be confident. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. I hope that you were relaxed. I hope that this video really helped someone out there. Someone, if you're struggling with self-confidence, you're struggling with the way that you look, in particular, the way your face looks, then I hope that this video really helped you, right? Again, you cannot change the way your face looks for the most part, but you can make yourself, look as presentable as possible, right? You can get a haircut. You can, if you have longer hair, you can get your hair done by a hairstylist, or there's different things that you can do to improve, make yourself look more presentable. But overall, again, can't change how your face looks. So you need to just embrace it and be confident in yourself and tell yourself it doesn't matter, because it's all a perception in people's heads. Some people are going to think you're ugly. Some people are going to think you're attractive. Some people are going to think you're okay or average. Who cares at the end of the day? Who cares? You care a lot right now about what other people think about the way you look. But when you unlock the superpower of simply not caring and being confident in yourself, then there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that people will be able to say in order to make you feel bad about the way that you look. Okay? So anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope that you're relaxed and enjoy the rest of your